why in the world are there literally like 1,000 Blizzard fleece options? Like, who is buying all of this fleece? Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miriam, and I talk about all kinds of quilting and sewing related things here on YouTube. Usually do tutorials and that sort of thing. But today I wanted to do a follow-up video on a video that I did a few weeks ago about Joann Arts and Crafts, Joann Fabrics, all of those different names we know it as, but a huge craft store here in the US, and it's possible closing. In the last video, we kind of went over what was possibly going to happen. And this past week, they had some court hearings. From what I can tell, I've watched a bunch of videos and stuff on it and read articles and things. And so far, it looks like they are going to be closing around 500 stores. From what I could gather, it seems that a liquidation company called Gordon Brothers, I do believe, they bought out over half of the stores. So 500 or so stores. And the other 300, because there was around 800 in total, the other 300 for now are staying open and working like normal. The website is working like normal for those stores. So if you do like the shop online, pick up in store, you can still do that, excuse me, at those 300 stores that are still going to be open. But for the other 500, those do not belong to Joann's anymore. They are part of a liquidation company now, and they're just going to be selling everything for as much profit as they can get from those stores. So I will list, well, I won't list, I will link a article that has all of the stores that are going to be closing. So they have it by state, which stores are going to be closing. So for me personally, I don't have like a local store. I live out in rural Missouri, but I have a couple that I have gone to in the past that are about an hour and a half in either direction from me, so around there, the distance. One of them is closing and the other one is staying open. I'd like to make it out to the one that is closing here in the next couple of weeks, just to kind of see what it looks like, what's going on out there, and what kind of sales they're having. So maybe I'll try to do another video with an update with that, but if I can get the guts to record in public. That being said, we still have 300 stores now that are going to be functioning like normal as far as we know. It's very interesting. Still, it's very, very sad that over half of the stores are closing. I know a lot of people, all of their stores are closing. It's just, they're not going to have a local Joann's anymore, and that's really sad. So what I want to say in this video, I have a few things that I would like to say. The first and probably most important thing that I want to say is if your local Joann's is closing and you're going to go there to try to get some of those sales, get some of those deals and things that they're going to be having, and just try to get stuff while you can, please be nice to the workers. This is a really hard time for a lot of these people. The people that are working in the stores, they're not the ones that are making the decisions to close the store. Okay, this is corporate level. They're deciding to close the stores. The managers are not deciding to close the stores. The workers are not deciding to close the stores. So please be kind to them. I'm sure they're going through a very difficult time because they're losing their jobs, you know, and a lot of people that work at Joann's, they've worked there for a long time. They work there because they love the environment. They like to work in an arts and crafts store, and now they're losing that job. Please just be kind. I've heard horror stories from workers. I've been looking into how the workers are feeling, and so many people are sad, and so many people are having really bad interactions with customers. And that's just, I don't understand why you would treat the workers poorly. This is not their decision, you know, so please be kind to them. Don't pull a bunch of bolts of fabric from the shelves and then just leave a pile in some random spot in the store. It's just, try to be as kind and try to put yourself in their shoes. You know, they're having a hard time. If they're cranky, I mean, you really shouldn't be cranky if you work in a customer service type role, but it's understandable if they're a little cranky, if they don't have their get up and go to, you know, cut the fabric as quickly as possible and stuff. Please just be kind. It's just really, really sad. Another thing I wanted to encourage everyone to do is, if you do have a local Joann's that is staying open, continue shopping like normal. I wouldn't go do any kind of like panic purchasing unless, you know, you have the budget for that, then go ahead. Because, you know, there are still going to be options available to purchase things. So it's not like once Joann's is gone, if Joann's completely leaves, it's not like we won't have options. So a few options that I would like to mention, they are online, but they are good options, in my opinion anyways. So one of the stores that I really like to purchase fabric from is the Fat Quarter Shop. I'm an affiliate of theirs. If you would like to use my link, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I do make a small commission from sales that are used through my link, but I really like the Fat Quarter Shop. They carry all kinds of cool notions, and they create their own notions, their own line of products and things, and they carry a lot of really nice fabric. And what's cool about the Fat Quarter Shop is they have sales frequently on things. And if you go and look at their sales section specifically, you're always going to find fabric in there, and it's nice fabric. You know, it's not kind of like the fabric like, ooh, like the fabric like everyone's like, oh, what is that? You know, so a lot of my fabric that I have purchased in yardage form is from the Fat Quarter Shop sales section. So that is an option. They also do a lot of cross stitch stuff. So I don't know if you're interested in cross stitch, but that's something that you could check out. That's kind of their other thing that they do. So they do quilting and cross stitches. Those are their two big things that they promote there. But I love the Fat Quarter Shop. Another place to find fabric and notions and that sort of thing is Etsy. Etsy's a little bit different. If you're not familiar with Etsy, Etsy is very similar to eBay in that it's a website that there are sellers on. So there's multiple sellers, thousands, if not millions of sellers on Etsy at this point. But there's a lot of small quilt shops that sell via Etsy, and they routinely have sales. They send out coupons. Like if you like an item, a few days later, you might get a coupon in your email to be able to purchase that. So that's a really good option. And that's a way to support small businesses also. I know a lot of us, we like to just get a good deal and we don't really care where it comes from. And that's totally fine. But it feels really good to know that you're supporting a small business. I purchase quite a bit of fabric from Etsy shops as well. A really great benefit of purchasing from Etsy, also from shops on Etsy, is a lot of times you get it shipped to you a lot faster than these bigger stores. For example, well, I won't say a company name, but there's a large quilt company that I've ordered from, and it's taken a couple of weeks to get my order. But then if I order from an Etsy shop, they literally ship it like the next day, and I get it just a few days later. That's a really good benefit. And it's just, a lot of times they add like a little personal touch. They'll send like a little thank you card or a discount code that you can use for a future purchase. So they do a really good job at making that connection with their customers. Whereas if you're ordering from a larger company, sometimes that's not really there. And I don't know, I like those little personal touches. I don't know if you do or not, but that's another option if you're looking for other places to purchase. And they have Etsy, there's shops that sell items for every kind of craft you can think of. There is that as well. So those are probably the top two that I would recommend, like online. I'm very curious to see kind of what's going to happen in the coming months / years with the craft community, because Joann's was such a big deal to so many crafters. It doesn't matter if you're a quilter or a knitter or a jewelry maker or a baker, you know, you could find something at Joann's. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see who's going to step up into that role to become that go-to place, because we have different stores right now, at least here in the US. We have Michael's and we have Hobby Lobby. And I know Walmart has they're expanding their craft areas in some of their stores. So I'm really curious to see what happens if one of those stores is going to, expand, if one of those stores are possibly going to buy out the rest of the Joann's stores. It's kind of up in the air right now. Supposedly there's several companies that are interested in purchasing the rest of those stores, but they're not saying who it is or anything like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see kind of what happens. I hope those stores stay open. It would just be such a sad day for the entire crafting and art community if all of Joann's stores go under and it's just completely poof, gone. So I hope someone purchases them and does the right thing with them. I really wish if anybody from corporate Joann's is watching, please reach out to actual crafters, reach out to quilters, to jewelry makers, to knitters, to whatever, and ask them what should be stocked in these stores. What are crafters looking for? What vibe are crafters looking for? This is kind of a bigger issue. I feel like in a lot of industries that these companies are being run by like these big corporate heads, and they're just, they are disconnected from the communities that are shopping at their stores. Unfortunately, then the companies are not doing well because they're making decisions that just don't make sense. Like in Joann's, for example, why in the world are there literally like 1,000 blizzard fleece options? Like, who is buying all of this fleece? Well, obviously nobody. Well, some people are. There's a very small percentage of people using the blizzard fleece. And it's a weird decision where half of the fabric section is fleece. Very odd. And then also a lot of people have brought this up, but they sell a lot of like home decor stuff, which is again, weird. Now, if it was more like if they sold kits that you put together, you paint, you sew, you do whatever to create a home decor item that you can make by yourself or with your kids or with your friends, something like that, I could see that doing really well in a Joann's or a Michael's or whatever. But just completely put together home decor items is a weird choice. And they had a lot of that. And that section in the Joann's, at least in the stores that I've been to, it just kept expanding. Like, I understand if you want to have a Halloween section for Halloween or a Christmas section for Christmas, that's fine. Those are the big holidays people like to decorate for, right? But for all the other times, it's just weird. And then that stuff was always on like super sale. So I feel like Joann's was trying to go in and try to compete with Hobby Lobby in the home decor arena, and it just wasn't great. I love looking at home decor, okay? I love it. But Joann's not necessarily the place that I would want to go to for that sort of thing. So I think if they had instead put more kits together or something like that, or just done away with it, that would be fine. And I think that really hurt them, where they were just bringing in stuff that just didn't make sense. I mean, I don't know all the behind the scenes, but I'm guessing they're probably doing too many sales, so they weren't making the profits that they needed to be making, and they just made poor decisions. And I really wish they would bring in some crafters that can give their opinions on what should actually be in the stores, what makes sense, what we're looking for. We're the people that are coming in and buying, so should ask what we would like, right? Anyways, that was my little tangent for the day. It's just very odd to me. I am really hoping that those stores stay open, that again, someone that is going to keep them open will purchase them, even if they want to change the name and kind of the vibe of the stores. totally fine, but we need to keep these accessible craft stores open for people. It's a really big deal. Crafting is a really big deal. It is such a great way for all of us, whether you're a kid, whether you're a senior citizen. We need to have those creative outlets where we can express our creativity, try new things. Art is such a great way to relieve stress and to, again, learn new things, try new things. And Joann's was such a big part of that. And I'm really hoping that they pull through and it's all going to be okay. And even if there's only 300 stores open now, I'm hoping that, you know, they're the comeback kid and they come back and they make the right decisions that they need to make for the company and for the crafting community. And more stores will gradually open again. That is my optimistic view of what I would love to see. That's just what I'm hoping for. I think a big reason, again, why this has happened is a lot of people moved to ordering things from Amazon, Temu, AliExpress, all of these super cheap companies. It's hard. The economy has been difficult. People are on a budget. They can't afford a lot of the more expensive things. It's a big picture thing, and I am not smart enough to give my complete opinion on it, but I think that's probably another reason why things have kind of turned in the wrong direction for a lot of companies. Is there's these other competing companies that are selling things for just way cheaper. And they might not be as good quality, but they're cheaper and they work in the moment, you know? That's probably another reason. I don't have a solution for it, but because I am a frugal person. So I understand wanting to just get the thing that is as cheap as possible, but that's still going to work. Those are my thoughts. Anyways, that's the update for Joann's. 500 stores are closing. Again, I will link a post that I found that has all of those stores that are closing in the description box below, okay, if you want to check that out. And 300 are going to be open for now. There's more court hearings coming up here in the coming weeks. If I find out more stuff, I will let you know. It kind of seems like they're seeing who wants to buy the remaining stores and if they'll keep them open or if they will also liquidate. I don't know. We will see. But again, please just be kind to the workers if you do go to your local Joann's. They're doing the best they can, I think, in the circumstances that they've been given. There are other options available if Joann's does go under. So at least for quilters, I highly recommend the Fat Quarter Shop and Etsy to find all kinds of stuff, shopping small and getting good deals on the Fat Quarter Shop sales section. That's kind of what I do a lot. If Joann's completely goes under, I'm gonna have to find a different place to buy my batting for sure, because that's where I like to buy my quilt batting. They carry my favorite batting. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If you notice behind me, get a little sneak peek of my new pattern that will be coming out next Friday. So I finished my quilt top here. This pattern I have named In Bloom. So it's going to be available for PDF and physical copy. And I will have that available next Friday. I have to do all the math for the other sizes. So this pattern's going to have sizes from a table runner all the way up to king size if you want to make a king size of this beautiful quilt. So I made the throw size for my sample quilt and it turned out so beautiful. I love it. If you're interested in that pattern, that will be coming out next week. If you would like to be notified when the video all about this pattern comes out, please subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would love for you to join my channel. We've got all kinds of fun projects coming up. I'm also going to be doing a sew along for this pattern. The sew along will start like the end of March. I want to give everybody plenty of time to gather their fabrics and all of that and kind of decide what size you want to make and everything. So That'll start at the end of March, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll get to make another one of these, right? If you have any questions for me, either about the whole Joann's thing, I'll try to answer as best I can. Or if you have questions about the pattern, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. If you have watched this far, let me know in the comments. Let's see. What, if you shop at Joann's, what's your favorite thing that you purchase there? Like I said before, my favorite thing that I purchased there is the batting. I like the Pellon 100% cotton batting. I buy it in a roll. It's like a 20-yard roll. I hope they stay open because that's where I get my batting. But yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I really appreciate you, and I will talk to you very soon, all right? Bye-bye.